Greetings, fellow extraterrestrial enthusiasts. I, X-427, have been entrusted with a mission of great scientific importance to study the legendary dinosaurs of Earth. Legends speak of these magnificent creatures that once roamed this planet, their massive forms shaking the ground with every step. My people, the Zizglorg, have always been fascinated by these behemoths of the past. We've pored over fragmented transmissions, piecing together their history from the remnants of their civilization. My spaceship, equipped with the latest in Zizglorg technology, is set to travel through the cosmos. The journey to Earth is a long one, filled with the silence of the interstellar void. But the thought of encountering the descendants of dinosaurs keeps my spirits high. I imagine myself observing them in their natural habitat, studying their social interactions, and maybe even collecting a DNA sample or two. I've spent countless cycles studying Earth's prehistoric past, familiarizing myself with the various species: the Tyrannosaurus rex with its bone-crushing jaws, the Stegosaurus with its impressive plates, the Velociraptor with its cunning intellect. I am eager to see if these majestic creatures truly lived up to their fearsome reputation. My mission is not without its risks, but for the sake of knowledge and the glory of the Zizglorg Empire, I am prepared to face any danger that Earth throws my way. Little did I know Earth had some surprises in store for me, and not the kind I was expecting. After what felt like an eternity, my ship pierced through Earth's atmosphere. I braced myself for entry, my 8 tentacles gripping the controls. Landing was a bit rough, but I managed to touch down in what seemed like a deserted area. I peeked out of my ship, my 3 eyes scanning the surroundings. My initial reaction, utter confusion. Where were the towering dinosaurs, the thunderous roars? The ground should be trembling under their weight. Instead, I was greeted by strange, smaller creatures. They walked on 2 legs, their bodies smooth and featherless. They were nothing like the majestic creatures depicted in the ancient records. These beings were bizarre. They moved with a strange, jerky gait, and their vocalizations sounded like high-pitched squeaks and whistles. I consulted my database, searching for a match. Nothing. No known dinosaur species matched their description. Could these be the descendants of the dinosaurs? Had they evolved into these things? My database labeled them as humans. Humans. It was an unfamiliar term, one that sent a shiver down my exoskeleton. I decided to observe these humans from a distance, hidden in the shadows. The more I watched, the more convinced I became that they were the new apex predators. They moved with an alarming confidence, their eyes constantly scanning their surroundings. They carried strange objects, metallic and shiny, which I later learned were called tools. Tools for hunting, perhaps. One day, I witnessed a group of young humans chasing after a smaller, furry creature. They moved with surprising speed and agility. They reminded me of velociraptors, their laughter echoing the chilling screeches of their ancestors. I shuddered, pulling my cloak tighter around me. Then there were the larger, louder humans. They operated massive, roaring machines that spewed smoke and shook the ground. I later discovered these were called trucks. These behemoths made a sound so loud that it rattled my antennae. I was certain they were some kind of territorial display, meant to intimidate any potential rivals. My every instinct screamed danger. These humans were not to be trifled with. They were the new dinosaurs, evolved and adapted to this strange new world, and I, X-427, was a long way from home. Section 4. Culinary conundrums, food or foe. One of the most perplexing aspects of human behavior was their relationship with food. They seemed to consume a bewildering array of substances, many of which looked incredibly dangerous. I watched in horror as they devoured large, leafy plants, crunching on them with unsettling enthusiasm. Were these some sort of poisonous flora? Had they developed an immunity to their toxins? I shuddered, remembering the digestive woes I'd experienced after accidentally ingesting a Zizglorgian delicacy that had gone slightly bad. Then there were the meats. I observed them cooking slabs of unidentified flesh over open flames, the air thick with the scent of smoke and grease. The sight of them tearing into these charred carcasses with their sharp, pointy teeth was enough to make my 3 stomachs churn. One day I stumbled upon a peculiar human ritual. They were gathered around a rectangular object upon which were arranged various bowls and plates. The humans were engaged in a strange, synchronized activity using metal sticks to shovel food into their mouths. They called this a dinner party. I watched in a mixture of fascination and disgust as they consumed their meal with such gusto. What were they eating? And why did they seem to enjoy it so much? I made a mental note to avoid any and all human food. It was simply too risky. Section 5, the language barrier, lost in translation. As if navigating the strange world of humans wasn't difficult enough, their language proved to be an insurmountable barrier, a cacophony of sounds, completely unintelligible to my audio receptors. I tried using my universal translator, but it seemed to short-circuit whenever it encountered human speech. It would sputter, whir, and then spit out nonsensical translations. I once overheard a group of humans talking excitedly about something called Netflix and chill. I eagerly pointed my translator at them, hoping for some insight into their strange customs. The translator, after a moment of intense whirring, declared, "Beware the glowing rectangle of entertainment and the perils of low temperatures." I quickly retreated, fearing for my safety. Another time, I attempted to decipher a sign outside a building. It displayed the words, "Open 24 hours." My translator, after some internal struggle, proclaimed a portal to a dimension where time has no meaning. Needless to say, I avoided that building. Their language was a confusing, terrifying labyrinth. Every attempt to understand it only seemed to lead to more questions. It was like they were speaking in riddles, their words laced with hidden meanings and dangerous implications. I longed for the day I could return to my home planet, where communication was logical and straightforward. At least that's what it felt like compared to the linguistic chaos of Earth.